Envy, akin to a smoldering fire in the mind, is a manifestation of inner scarcity and profound suffering. In the eyes of the envious, the grass on someone else's side always appears greener, but they fail to realize that its lushness doesn't come from the grass itself but from the way one's soul perceives it. When the heart is restless, we easily forget that the happiness and achievements of others do not take anything away from us. Those consumed by jealousy are often lost, unable to nurture their own grass. It is a state of ignorance where they overlook that everything in life is impermanent and that true joy does not lie in possessing or achieving but in letting go. The emotion of jealousy is natural, as humans are still driven by desires and aversions. But as Buddha taught, emotions are like clouds passing through the sky. We can choose not to cling to them. When seeing someone else with something we lack, we should reflect that this is merely a temporary manifestation within the endless chain of causes and conditions. Jealousy not only binds us to suffering but also destroys precious connections. Pause, listen to your heart, and understand that true prosperity and happiness come from gratitude, from finding joy in others' happiness, and from cultivating self-awareness. By letting go of envy, we rediscover inner peace and serenity, which is the path to genuine liberation. Now, let us explore 10 signs that someone is extremely envious or jealous of you. The first sign is when someone deliberately gives misguided advice. It reflects a mind shrouded in ignorance and hatred. Instead of offering support, they choose to sow misinformation, unaware that such actions not only harm others but also bind themselves to the cycle of suffering in samsara. As the Buddha taught, speech is one of the 10 deeds, karmas, humans must remain mindful of to keep pure. Deliberately giving false advice to lead someone astray reveals an unwholesome mind and creates negative karma. This behavior stems from envy, a mental state that obscures truth, driven by fear that another's light might overshadow their own. When faced with such a person, rather than reacting with anger or blame, we should reflect inwardly, maintain compassion, and understand that they are suffering in their own darkness. Their misleading words are merely expressions of a lack of wisdom and love. By practicing mindfulness, we can avoid being misled by their advice while simultaneously cultivating empathy, recognizing that they, too, need awakening and guidance. When we live with awareness, no one can truly cause our downfall, for every challenge becomes an opportunity to grow and practice. Those who offer false advice ultimately serve as mirrors, reflecting the clarity of our own path back to us. When someone finds joy in another's mistakes, it reflects a mind clouded by greed, hatred, and delusion, failing to realize that all beings are interconnected within the web of dependent origination. Instead of offering empathy and support, they choose to revel in another's struggles. Yet such fleeting joy merely masks the deep suffering within their own heart. Just as water cannot remain clear when disturbed, the mind cannot find peace when ruled by hatred and envy. To rejoice in another's failure is to create bad karma, sowing seeds of division and suffering in one's own life. Another's mistake is not an occasion for judgment or gloating but an opportunity to practice compassion, understanding that everyone stumbles at times on their journey towards self-perfection. When confronted with such attitudes, we should not let our minds be shaken. Instead, recognize that this behavior stems from an unawakened mind, bound by suffering. Responding with anger only entangles us further in the cycle of unrest. Instead, hold fast to compassion, using our own missteps as lessons for growth, and regard them with profound empathy. It is through overcoming adversity without being swayed by criticism or ridicule that we find true strength and inner peace. This is the path of the awakened one of wisdom and compassion. The third sign that envy reveals itself is in how someone creates petty, unnecessary arguments, as though it is a method to reach you and disturb your peace of mind. These conflicts bring no value to either party. They are mere sparks they fan into flames to disrupt your tranquility. They are not seeking solutions or genuine understanding. Instead, these trivial disputes are a tool to sow discord in relationships and more deeply within your own heart. By provoking you to react, to defend yourself, they gradually pull you into the vortex of negative energy they carry inside. They transform seemingly insignificant matters into burdens on your mind, leaving you feeling drained, confused, and depleted. These arguments are not expressions of genuine disagreement, but rather a subtle tool to erode your confidence and peace. In such moments, they seem to derive a sense of dominance by unsettling your inner balance, whether consciously or subconsciously, causing you to doubt yourself and trapping you in a cycle of negative emotions. Yet the true nature of these actions is not their strength, but rather an expression of insecurity and emptiness within them. Those consumed by envy often fail to find stability within themselves, and to compensate for this helplessness, they seek to destabilize others. Understanding this allows you not only to see their motives clearly, but also to maintain patience and composure, avoiding the meaningless turmoil they try to create. This is how you safeguard your inner peace against petty schemes, retain your autonomy, and continue walking your own path, undisturbed by the ripples on the surface of your mind's calm lake. The fourth sign that envy manifests is excessive curiosity, a kind of curiosity not born from genuine care but from a desire to control and manipulate. They seek every detail about your life, not to share in or understand it, but to gather fragments of information they can later weaponize. Their questions may seem harmless, but they are laced with hidden intent, as if they are probing to uncover your weaknesses, mistakes, or vulnerabilities that they can exploit. This curiosity is not a sign of an open heart, but rather a reflection of a spirit ensnared by jealousy. They are not content with your peace or success and therefore seek ways to disrupt it. By collecting information, they quietly construct small schemes, subtle plots to unsettle your journey or diminish your value in the eyes of others. The irony is that while they spend time scrutinizing your life, they leave their own lives empty, as though your existence has become the focal point of their comparisons and judgments. Yet the truth is, nothing they uncover can truly affect you unless you allow it. Their curiosity, no matter how cunning, is merely a shadow that cannot dim your light unless you permit it to infiltrate your mind. By recognizing the intent behind their curiosity, you'll see the importance of maintaining boundaries, protecting your personal space, and keeping certain aspects of your life private. Let your inner stillness be the answer to their invasive curiosity, and let your tranquility become the fortress their envy cannot breach. The fifth sign of envy is their attempt to steal the light that shines upon you. They cannot endure seeing you as the center of attention, because every success, every moment of glory you achieve, serves as a mirror reflecting their insecurities. Instead of sharing in your joy, they hastily create their own spectacle to redirect others' focus onto themselves, as though fearing your radiance will last forever and overshadow them. They do not congratulate you or celebrate with you. Instead, they find ways to strip away the attention you rightfully deserve. Sometimes this manifests in overt actions, like taking credit for your achievements or sharing a grander story to eclipse yours. Other times it is more subtle, sowing seeds of doubt, making veiled criticisms, or shifting others' focus with unfair comparisons. Such behavior reveals not only their profound lack of confidence, but also a worldview that measures personal worth solely through external validation. They fail to realize that another's light does not diminish their own, and attempting to dim someone else's brilliance only leads them deeper into their own darkness. In the face of this, there is no need to fight or reclaim the spotlight. Genuine attention cannot be stolen. It is a natural reflection of the value you bring. Continue to shine in your own way, allowing them to see that true light is never afraid of being overshadowed because it arises from an inner source no one can extinguish. The sixth sign of envy is praise that lacks sincerity, often concealing a sharp blade of sarcasm or criticism. These words may initially sound sweet or pleasant, but upon reflection you realize they are not meant to uplift you but to subtly diminish or hurt you. The envious person uses such half-hearted compliments as a mask to hide their jealousy while subtly undermining your confidence. They might say, "Wow, you're so good at this, I never thought you could pull it off." A statement that appears complimentary yet carries an undertone of doubt about your abilities. Or they might acknowledge your achievement but add a remark that dilutes its significance, leaving you questioning whether your success is truly as meaningful as you believed. These comments are not merely tools for them to soothe their own jealousy, but also a means to sow seeds of insecurity in you. They aim to make you ask yourself, is what I've accomplished truly valuable? Or do I really deserve recognition? This is how they bring you down, not through open confrontation, but by striking subtle blows at your confidence. Understanding this, you will see that your value is not determined by others' words, but by the recognition you give yourself. Insidious praise, no matter how cleverly disguised, cannot harm you if you see it for what it truly is and refuse to let it influence your mind. Let authenticity and self-belief be your shield, protecting you from the pettiness hidden beneath the guise of flattery. The seventh sign of envy is their relentless criticism and efforts to undermine you, no matter how much effort you put in. The envious person seems to carry a magnifying glass, scrutinizing every detail of your actions, not to offer constructive feedback, but to amplify your mistakes, even the most insignificant ones. Their criticism is not aimed at improvement but at eroding your confidence and making you doubt your abilities. They never fully acknowledge your achievements. Instead, they find ways to overshadow them with negative remarks. They might say, "You did well, but you should have," or "It's okay, but I think it could have been better." Such seemingly harmless statements carry a hidden weight, implying that nothing you do will ever meet their so-called standards that are, in truth, merely excuses to dismiss your value. Their goal is not to assess right or wrong, but to make you feel small and controlled by their opinions. This criticism is a veil for their insecurity, because your success highlights the shadows they are unwilling to face within themselves. Remember that your worth is not defined by such negativity. These demeaning remarks are reflections of their instability, not yours. Listen if you must, but do not hold on to their words. Keep moving forward, knowing that true success requires no validation from those too insecure to appreciate it. When you remain steadfast in your own confidence, their undermining attempts become nothing more than passing breezes, incapable of shaking the deeply rooted strength within you. The eighth sign of envy is excessive competition, a one-sided race they create, not to better themselves, but to surpass you at all costs. Envious individuals view your progress not as inspiration but as a threat. Instead of accepting reality or striving to improve themselves, they dive into unhealthy competition, disregarding all rules and limits. They may resort to lying, exaggerating their achievements, or even cheating to project an image of superiority over you. They will do whatever it takes to elevate themselves in the eyes of others, even if it means distorting the truth. For them, competition is no longer a motivation for self-improvement but a means to diminish you and bolster their own fragile ego. In their pursuit of this rivalry, you might notice their efforts become unreasonable, even obsessive. They might imitate what you do, merely to prove they can do it better. They might push themselves beyond their limits not out of genuine desire, but because they cannot tolerate seeing you ahead. They are less concerned with whether their achievements hold meaning for them, and more focused on diminishing your value in the eyes of others. Yet this race exists only in their minds, as your worth is not determined by whether they surpass or fall behind you. Such unhealthy competition merely reflects their deep-seated insecurities, not any inadequacy on your part. To address this, you need not engage in their race. Instead, focus on your own journey, where success is measured by genuine growth, not by comparison with others. Let them tire themselves out in their futile chase, while you continue steadfastly on your path, grounded in goals and values no one can take from you. Your calm confidence will be the most powerful response to such petty rivalries. The ninth, and perhaps the most evident, sign of envy is speaking ill of you behind your back. Do not expect a jealous person to have kind words about you in your absence. Instead, they seize every opportunity to spread rumors, true or false, to tarnish your image in the eyes of others. They have no qualms about twisting the truth, embellishing details, or even fabricating stories. Their motivation is not rooted in reality, but in a desperate need to bring you down so they can feel elevated. By devaluing you in others' eyes, they attempt to fill the void of insecurity within themselves. These rumors may not only be offensive but also insidious, often disguised as fake concern or seemingly harmless observations. What is most unfortunate is that such behavior reflects not only their jealousy but also their lack of belief in their own worth. Unable to shine through their own abilities, they choose to dim the light of others. Gossip is not merely a personal attack but a resounding echo of their own insecurity. Remember, however, that your true value does not lie in what others say, but in who you truly are and what you accomplish. Rumors cannot obscure the truth, and a clear soul cannot be darkened by shadows. Do not let gossip shake you, nor waste your energy defending or refuting it. Your integrity and character will speak for themselves, as those who genuinely know you will not be swayed by envious whispers. A subtle yet deeply hurtful sign of envy is their tendency to belittle your accomplishments. People burdened with deep insecurity often cannot face the success of others without feeling threatened. Your achievements, whether big or small, are not viewed as joyous milestones but as mirrors reflecting their own shoulders. Instead of acknowledging and celebrating with you, they choose to undermine the value of what you've achieved. They might attribute your success to luck, coincidence, or circumstances anyone could have taken advantage of. They may make dismissive remarks such as "It's not a big deal" or "If I were in your position, I'd have done the same." These comments are not meant to provide a balanced perspective, but to subtly convey that you do not deserve the recognition or admiration you've received. This behavior does not stem from a realistic assessment of your achievements, but from their inner turmoil. They see your success as a shadow that overshadows their own presence, and by diminishing you, they hope to feel better about themselves. However, belittling others' accomplishments does not enhance their value, it only highlights the smallness of their spirit. In response, you do not need to argue or prove your worth. Remember that true success lies not in others' recognition, but in the pride you feel from your efforts and results. Do not let their dismissive words hinder your progress, as those who truly appreciate you will see the value you bring, regardless of attempts to obscure it. Let your patience and steadfastness serve as the most powerful reply to their attempts to downplay you. In life, it is impossible to please everyone, and envy is often an unavoidable reality. However, what matters is not what others say or do, but how you choose to respond and rise above it. Always remember that your true value does not lie in others' approval, but in the effort, determination, and character you build every day. Do not allow negative words or petty actions to dim your inner light. Continue to shine and live true to your values, for no one can obscure the path you choose to walk except yourself.